Recently I posted this video on screen now, where I went over the best legends to be playing if you are solo queuing within Apex Legends Season 12. This video is the exact opposite of that. That video is for people who solo queue, and this video is for people who play as a team. Now this video will be going over the best team comps to be playing within the brand new season of Apex Legends. This team comps will help you rank up within Apex, or if you're just trying to absolute pub stomp, then this video is going to help you. I'm going to go over some of the top team comps within competitive games, especially the ALGS, and some team comps that have worked for me. Hey, how's it going? I hope you're having a fantastic day and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Dominate, and if you want to get better at Apex Legends, then welcome to the channel. I post every other day to help you become a better player. As I said, we're going over the best team comps to be playing if you are trying to rank up in the new season. So the image on screen now were the top picks for the ALGS in 2021. I'm just going to go through every single one and give you guys some interesting facts which you might not have known. So with only one pick, we had a Gibby, a Wraith, and a Horizon. Now this is the only team comp that had Horizon in it, and it was a mistake. It was actually a auto-fill by the game because someone forgot to pick their character. So technically Horizon was only played once, but realistically she was never ever picked within the ALGS. Now if you don't know what the ALGS is, it is the biggest Apex Legends competition where players fight out for hundreds of thousands of dollars. So the team comps in here have to be very smart, and you'll see that a lot of people run the same. So Horizon was only picked once, and it wasn't even meant to be legit. They didn't mean to pick that legend. Coming up next with only 2 picks is a Gibby, an Octane, and a Bloodhound. Next up, we jump up to 7 picks with a Valkyrie, an Octane, and a Revenant. Coming in again at 7 picks, we have a Gibby, we have a Valkyrie, we have an Octane. Again at 7 picks, we have a Gibby, we have an Octane, and we have a Bangalore. At 11 picks, we have a Gibby, we have a Loba, and we have a Valkyrie. At 21 picks, we have a Gibby, we have a Wraith, and we have a Crypto. At 21 picks again, we have a Caustic, a Wraith, and a Crypto. At 29 picks, the second most popular team comp that was run was a Gibby, a Wraith, and a Valkyrie. And number 1 at 34 picks was a Gibby, a Wraith, and a Bloodhound. Now, 2 things that you might not have actually known was that Pathfinder had 0 picks. And a Watson had 0 picks too. Now this is huge because these can be seen as some of the best legends to be playing within a comp game. Some other things that you might want to note from this image on screen: out of the 10 team comps, there was only 2 which didn't run a Gibby. 8 out of the 10 team comps had a Gibby. One interesting thing was that only 2 team comps had a Bloodhound, but Bloodhound had a pick rate of 25%. But even though there wasn't that many team comps that involved him, everyone seemed to run the same team comp with a Bloodhound. Out of the 10 team comps, Wraith was picked 5 times, and out of the 10, Valkyrie was picked 4 times. And the top 5 legends that were picked was number 5, Bloodhound with 36 picks. 4th was Crypto with 49 picks. Valkyrie with 54 picks came 3rd. Wraith with 106. And Gibby was the most picked legend with 112 picks. 80% of the legends that were played was a Gibby. Now with that out of the way, I present to you my top 3 best team comps to play in Apex Legends Season 12. Coming in at number 3 involves a Maggie, a Loba, and a Bloodhound. Obviously the ALGS hasn't actually started yet, which involves a Mad Maggie. But I do believe that she's going to have a couple picks when the ALGS comes back around. The way she can split teams up, force teams out of cover, even some huge things like stop revives, finish down people, or just get the final damage off someone when they are healing. She's absolutely insane, and I do truly believe she's going to be used quite a bit when the ALGS comes back around. Now let's talk about actual rank this season. Maggie isn't picked that much, and that's because she's kind of a niche character. Not that many people use her, but if you do actually use her, they tend to be good at her. If you don't know how to play Maggie, then I suggest not playing her. Only play people who you are really comfortable with. Obviously, you got to play better as the people who you are actually good at. But maybe you want to take the time to actually get good at Maggie, just for some of the things that I mentioned just before. She's really strong within ranked, I believe. From my personal experience, she works quite well in higher ranks too. Loba was only in one team comp within the ALGS. She came in with 11 picks and an 8% pick rate. but she was in the top 5 team comps within the ALGS, and you do see her a fair little bit within rank 2. She's really good for getting that extra bit of loot that you couldn't find. She's really helpful when you get a respawn your teammate so they can get loot as soon as they land. If we've run out of ammo, then you've got infinite ammo from the Loba's black market. If you run out of shields, you don't have any bats, you don't have any cells, then Loba's there for that. She's really good for the team, and she's actually pretty decent as a solo player too. If you want to know my personal opinion on Loba actually when solo queuing, then make sure you watch this video on screen just after you watch this one. Bloodhound is the final member of this team comp, and let me just say, there's a reason why Bloodhound had a 26% pick rate. He has constant scans. You always know where the enemy team is when you have a Bloodhound on your team. Really good for tracking down some of the people you might have lost within fights. But yeah, he's really there to get the information for the whole team. When you're in a fight or you're about a third party, scan and the whole team knows who to focus. Especially if you've got that communication, you can have your teammates calling out who they want to focus. Or whether if it's just too hectic and you have the communication and the freedom to tell your team that you don't want to take the fight. Or as I said before, who to focus and who to go for. So Bloodhound is really good for that constant information that you need when you're in a game. And don't even let me get started on his ultimate. He has an FOV boost as well as a speed boost. Enemies are highlighted in red too, so it is kind of what's in their name. They are a Bloodhound, they're there to track people down and get the final kill on them. Let me just recap this team comp. We have a Mad Maggie, we have a Loba, and we have a Bloodhound. The Maggie is to allow you to split up enemy teams. Kind of makes it an area of denial, stops people from going in cover. You can split teams up, you get people out of cover. Stop little things like revives and healing, and just to get the final hit on someone if they're low. Loba is there to allow your team to get ammo, to get their meds, to get some loot that they might have missed. And Bloodhound is there to give your team that information that you might not already know. Get all that info with their constant scans, and to track down people too. So coming in at our number 2 spot will be a Gibby, a Wraith, and a Crypto. Gibby is there for the team. Gibby is the type of person who cares about the team more than himself. He helps his team out of sticky situations by throwing his dome down. There's also faster revives within his dome. So yeah, Gibby is there to help his team. Not only that, the way he kind of helps himself is that he has the fortified passive. This means he actually takes more damage than enemy players just because of his size. Not only that, he also has a gun shield, which blocks, I'm pretty sure, is 75 damage before he'll actually start getting hit flesh, or armor that is. Now the big thing with Gibby is his ultimate. Instantly area of denial, pushes people down from height and forces people inside. When you start to get in the final rings of the game, throwing his ult and just making a huge area of denial can absolutely turn the game upside down. The advantage is on your side. Not only is it an area of denial, it does a massive amount of damage. So if a team's all fighting in open space, by throwing his Gibby ult, you're just going to do endless damage. Wraith is also in this team comp, and that's because she allows her and her team to reset. With her ultimate, you can go into a fight or just rotate by going through her portal. Let's say for this scenario that there's a third party going on and you go on portal into that to get your team into that fight as quickly as possible. You go in, and as you come out of the end, it's absolute mayhem. You're instantly cracked. You have no shield, you're now flesh. There's arc stars, there's thermites, there's so many bullets, there's ultimates. Absolutely everything that could be happening is happening. And you don't know what to do. Just go back through the portal and you've reset. The big thing is about playing as a team and having team comps is the communication. Let's say Wraith made the portal, she goes through it first, goes out through the other end, and it's absolute mayhem. She simply calls, don't go through port, don't go through portal. She comes back out the other side, and because obviously it's a two-way portal, you just sit there and wait for enemy teams to come through the portal, or you can just start running away. So yeah, Wraith allows her team to reset, but as I said, she also allows her to reset too. Her tactical allows her to go into a Wraith form and actually phase, which makes her invincible but not invisible. She can just go out of fights and, as I said, restart. She can also see people when she's in her phase form too. So yeah, that's why Wraith is really good to have on a team comp. Finally, on the team comp, we have a crypto. Now, every team comp that I've mentioned up to now has had someone who has some sort of scanning ability, and that's because you always want to know where people are. It's a battle royale at the end of the day. It's the last man surviving wins. You need to know where all the other teams are so you can get yourself into a better position. I am kind of surprised that in the 2021 finals of the ALGS that crypto was actually used this much. Crypto was the 4th most picked legend, with 49 people picking him with a 35% pick rate. And that was obviously before the brand new season and his new buffs. So you can imagine how well crypto was actually working. Now imagine how well it's going to be working this season. So before, having a crypto on your team kind of made it a 2v1, as you had a drone flying around getting the information, but you had 2 people going in and fighting. This can be seen as most of the people who he was played with was someone like a Wraith, a Valkyrie, and most importantly a Gibby. He would sit back, scan, get all the information for his team, whilst the Wraith went in and Gibby was there for the support of the Wraith, to throw the dome down when she was in need, or if she got knocked she can help res her. But now crypto is part of the team. He goes in there, he throws his drone, and he just gets into the fight. There are constant scans going on in the background whilst they're fighting. It's literally like being in a fight and having constant CCTV. Having a drone in the air, constantly scanning the enemy and telling you where they are. So yeah, as I said at the very beginning of this team comp, just imagine how well crypto was working if he was the 4th most picked legend within the final. Just imagine how well he's going to be working now. So just before we get into the final team comp and the best team comp to be using within Apex Legends Season 12, make sure you go down below and leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe. Whilst you're down there, you might as well join the Discord, the community Discord, which will be in the pinned comment down below. Whilst you're in the comments, make sure you let me know what your favourite team comp is to be using within the brand new season of Apex Legends. So here we go, the best team comp to be using within Apex Legends Season 12 will be a Gibby, a Wraith, and a Valkyrie. These are individually the 3 most picked legends for the ALGS final, and I'm not just going off of this, but there is a reason for that. We've already seen and spoke about how good Gibby and Wraith can be within a game, but I haven't said anything about Val, because that's what I'm going to be doing for this team comp. So as I said in the last 2 team comps, every comp that I had mentioned previous before this one, all had a scanning ability legend. And the same applies for the best team comp within Apex. Valkyrie's passive is when she's in the air skydiving, she can see all nearby enemy players. This is where communication is key. If you're having a Valkyrie on your team, you want it to be someone who is kind of the leader. The Valkyrie should be the one who's always in the air, always pointing out where people are and where they are going, and calling out on who to land on. Let's say you've just used the jump tower and you're now flying towards the zone, and you suddenly scan a team of 3 below you. And let's say you're a little bit low in KP, so you kinda need a couple more kills or assists for you to get back into positive. You fly over them, you scan a team of 3, but you see that one of them is so much further behind than the other 2. Then the Valkyrie should be calling for the whole team to land on that one guy and get the kill. This instantly, 1, keeps the team split up. 2, when you get that kill, then it's a 3v2. From there, you should be able to easily win the fight. When you have a Valkyrie on your team, they should technically be the leader, the one who's the most confident, and the one who's going to be good at calling out comms, kind of being the decision maker. This, paired with a Wraith and a Gibby, is an absolute killer composition. So I'm just going to quickly recap over the top 3 team comps that I provided you guys today, and they are: number 3 is a Maggie, a Loba, and a Bloodhound. Number 2 is a Gibby, Wraith, and a Crypto. And number 1 is a Gibby, Wraith, and a Valkyrie. Obviously, every single player is different, and every single team has different kind of chemistry. Different people gotta prefer playing other people, even if they're not the meta. So my advice to you would be try out some of the compositions that I told you guys today. If they don't work, then they simply don't work. If you found a team comp that already works for you, then just run with that. If you already have a team comp that works for you, then make sure to put it down in the comments down below and help some other people who are really struggling on some compositions that they want to try. So yeah, that's gonna call it for today's video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching to the end. If you found this video helpful and or entertaining in any way, shape or form, then make sure to go down below and leave a like. Whilst you're down there, you might as well subscribe to be entered into the next subscriber shout out. Whilst you're down there, make sure you go down to the pinned comment and join the community Discord. Thank you guys so much for support recently. We are fast approaching 1.3k subs. Your support means the absolute world to me. Once again, it's been my pleasure, and until next time, keep dominating Legends. Horizon 1, Horizon 1. Knocked. Pathfinder me, Pathfinder me. He's cracked. Knocked, one more.
Okay, 5 left.
You be chillin'. No!
Burn in him, huge.